Welcome back to Everything All the Time. I'm Pat O'Brien, along with Court McCowan, who's back at work. We're glad he is. There's a lot to talk about today. We talked about Gene Wilder. What a loss. Colin Kaepernick, that's a big story. People always love the First Amendment until somebody uses it and it becomes a bigger story. But right now, we have a football star with another kind of story. I mean, he had his football glory, a couple of Super Bowls with the Broncos, and he was, I think, 4 times in the Pro Bowl. My buddy Trevor Price. Hey, Trevor, how are you?
What's up, Pat? How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir. And Court McCowan is here, who's a big Trevor Price fan, by the way.
Well, anybody who can play defense like this guy does gets in Pro Bowls. 2 Super Bowls. You guys, that's a pretty big deal.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to get to Kulapari in a minute, but what were the rings like back then? Now they're so gaudy you can't even wear them in public.
They were gaudy for 1998. I actually put one on the other day, and I went. If I walk around any big metropolitan area wearing this, I'll get my hand cut off. So I put it right back in the box and shoved it in my wife's closet.
No one's walking up to you and threatening you. So Trevor's in the news today, and we'll get to some other stuff in a minute. But I want to talk about Kulapari. Kulapari is an idea that Trevor had when he got out of football. He had money, could have sat around like I'm doing, basically. And done nothing. Instead, he put together this comic series called Kulapari. Tell us what it's about. I know.
Right. So Kulapari is an Aboriginal word for poison. So the world that I created is littered with poisonous animals. So frogs, scorpions, spiders, lizards, and the poison kind of acts like an X gene and gives them superpowers and whatnot. And the unpoisonous animals don't have that. So it's really about these different species of animals in the outback, kind of fighting for survival.
How much acid were you on when you thought about this? I'm joking, but I mean,
you know where I got it. You know where the idea came from. This is God's honest truth. Planet Earth, because we were in between houses. My wife and my family were in between 2 different houses in Denver. At the new house we had, the cable wasn't in yet, so all I had was a DVD player. I had an HD DVD player, and was Planet Earth. So I watched it over and over and over again, and I just became enthralled with it. And there was one scene where they had the Amazon rainforest, and they kept showing this tree frog, leap from tree to tree. They do everything so high def, so many frames per second, slow motion. It looked like a superhero.
Now, is there one character in the series that we're following through? Is this Kulapari? Is this the frog that we're following throughout this series?
Kulapari is the poison,
right?
Yeah. So the happy accident was I didn't name it again. I didn't name the idea, the IP, for one character, because what happens is if Star Wars was called Luke Skywalker. If it's not Luke Skywalker, it's not Star Wars.
Right.
So Kulapari just means anything that's poisonous. So there is 1,000 characters, and we can follow anyone at any point.
And then you sold it. We were talking the other day that you just kept calling studios. He did the right thing, but I don't suggest everybody do this. But he called until he got the President Studio on. Yeah. He got a Netflix series, right? When does that start?
It starts September 2nd. Comes out September 2nd around the world.
Now, I was going to ask you, are you excited to have a place like Netflix to show this? Because I find more and more, and Pat and I have talked about this several times, how Netflix is really one of the greatest avenues to creativity now. It's these shows that are on television are watched by so few people, but Netflix, when you can get a whole series there and you can download it, you can watch it all at once, people really flock to these.
It is unbelievable. And the thing is, what's happening is, like my kids I have a 16-year-old, 14-year-old, 10-year-old, and they have the same watching habits as kind of I do, right?
Right.
So it's like you watch TV when you want to watch it, and if you want to watch 3 in a row, you watch 3 in a row.
Yeah.
My teenage daughter went through Stranger Things in one day. Just went through the whole thing. Right?
Same as me. One day.
We all do that. We lay out time and watch it. Yeah.
Right. So my 10-year-old son, he does the same thing. He goes on Netflix or whatever, Hulu or whatever, and watches what he wants to watch, and goes, plays, and then come back. So they were excited the fact that the animated series I was making is serialized.
How you feel?
You have to watch Yeah, you have to watch episode 1 to know what's going on in episode 2.
Trevor Price is
I love it.
Yeah, Trevor Price, our guest. Big article in the New York Sunday Times. I was so happy when I saw this article. I go, hey, I know him. That's my guy. Hey, do you watch The Night Of?
I have not watched it yet. The thing is, Pat, here's the thing. I spend all my time writing and creating and doing. I haven't watched anything.
Right.
I watch sports every now and then. I'm watching the U.S. Open right now, but other than that, I have not. I'm behind on House of Cards.
Oh, come on, Trevor.
Okay.
Come on.
It's bad. It's bad.
By the way,
Game of Thrones, I have no idea.
All right, we got to disconnect this. We got to disconnect
this.
Me
doing the U.S. Open. I did it for 26 years, and I love that event. Trevor Price is our guest. Good luck with this Kulipari thing, and I think it's going to go. What do you think of our own Kulipari, Colin Kaepernick?
Our own poison. I was prepared. I'm kind of on the fence about it because I get what is going on as far as protesters and police and military and this and the other. Right. But I think at some point you start humanizing things. You know what I mean? At least we're just not saying, hey, the protester guy wouldn't stand for national anthem. At least we're saying it's Colin Kaepernick. You know what I mean? And I think once you start to put a name and humanizing things that people do, then it becomes a conversation and not anger. I'm glad in the sense that it is happening to him. You know what I mean? And not just some random guy that nobody really cares about.
Right.
But his stance is his stance, and that's what the First Amendment's about, and I love that.
Good
you can disrespect the president, well, no matter who the president was. If you can do the things, say things about the president, you can say anything you want.
Well,
you know what I mean?
What do you feel about guys like Rodney Harrison from the New England Patriots, who's come out and and not only is stood up against Colin Kaepernick, but has said things like, well, he doesn't understand the plight of the black man. His mom's white. And to say, it's literally what he came out and said.
By the way, I'm as white as could be, and I understand it more than most black guys.
I think what upsets me about it is it's not about whether or not he's white or he's black. It's what he's standing up for. And the fact that he's standing up for it says volumes about his character, because he has a lot at stake here. And he's not the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. He's a guy who's trying out. And for him to stand up and take this heat, I think says a lot about the guy's character.
I do too. I think it says he has guts, and he has a platform, and he's willing to walk out on that platform and protest the things he's protested. I mean, it's when the Miami Heat and all the NBA did the thing about Trayvon Martin, they were going to show wear their jerseys inside out and did wear the hoodies and whatnot. There's ways to do it, and if this is your platform and that's in your heart, just as long, I'm only concerned that just as long as he's coming at it from the right place.
Yeah.
Whatever Rodney Harrison said, as long as this comes from the right place, we don't have to all agree.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I honestly don't have an opinion on it one way or another, except for saying at least the two guys that are arguing have names.
Right.
A lot of times,
right, exactly.
Some of the policemen that get into the things is that we have named nobody. You know what I mean? So I think that helps a little bit, and that helps move the ball forward when we can say Rodney Harrison or Colin Kaepernick.
Everybody loves the First Amendment until somebody actually uses it. I mean, so what? I wanted to get you on that because I need to be smart on that issue. What happens to Kulipari next after the Netflix thing?
Well, the comic book just came out that after the last scene of episodes, 13 episodes. So after the last scene of 13 episodes, the comic book picks up like 5 minutes later.
Right.
5 minutes later from there, and that comic book is 4 issues, a miniseries. There's the Under Armour clothing line.
Oh my goodness! Really?
Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah, and it is selling out. Like, they had a big display, and they had a big display of it in Baltimore and Chicago, and all that stuff is gone.
So
because I don't have any.
Wait, what's wrong with you?
Baltimore.
You gotta take first copies of your comic book. You got to get the first thing of everything.
I know. So yeah, I do. I have some of it, but I went to the Baltimore store because I have some cousins, and so I was like, "Hey, where's the Kulipari section?" They were like, "It's all gone." I was like, "What do you mean it's all gone?" They were like, "It's gone."
Yeah.
As in sold. He's like, oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
This
Trevor
stuff was gone in 10 days.
and now Trevor's moving again to a bigger house.
Now I'm in between houses again. Let's see what I come up with.
Let me ask you one quick question. You said that you're. Who did you get to animate all this? Was it difficult finding an animator to do all this stuff?
It's beautifully done.
Yeah,
man.
Because it's really well done.
Oh, wait till you guys see it. It's I personally have not seen the high definition episodes of all 13 because they were delivered up until the last second.
Right.
But the company that did animations out of Canada, they're called Cartoon Conrad. Big shout out to my homeboy Luke. But the production company in America that helped me do it is called Splash, and they make like Lala Loopsy. This is the biggest thing I think they've made.
Oh,
as far as
I'm looking at
boys action.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cover of one of the comic books, and it's just striking. I mean,
yeah, it looks great, and I love the fact that it's not just one character; it's kind of a whole world. And
it's going to go. It's going to be. It's more characters than the X-Men.
So is the video game next?
Yeah, it is.
There we go.
Several. Yeah.
I want to.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy deep right now in Calamari poison and frogs and stuff. I'm just like, my head is swimming on a day-to-day basis.
I want to be.
And the series comes out. The series comes out around the world. So
wow!
Dubbed in 19, it was dubbed in 19 languages.
We will.
So I think by October.
Right, it's gone. We will promote the hell out of this, not only because it looks really good, but because we like you. And you're somebody who did something after football. I like what you said in the New York Times. You said you could sit around and watch Judge Judy or whatever. And which is, by the way, what we all do. And or do something with your life. And how do your kids? You said talking about your kids. They must be very proud of it.
Yes and no. They're kind of like whatever, man.
Yeah, whatever.
And my oldest daughter's like,
whatever, Dad.
Typical
Whatever.
Teenager, whatever, dude. And my son has he's grown up with. He's 10, so I made it for him basically. But he's grown. He's seen how the sausage is made. So he's not real impressed, right? It's weird, man. It is. I feel like they're George Lucas's kids and not really impressed with Star Wars.
I know a lot of NFL guys, as you know, and I'm very proud of you because most guys take their money and run, and you took your money.
Yeah, right.
You took your money and your talent and ran away with this.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Now before we let you go, now the season's starting. We're coming up on the season. Come on, let's have some picks for this year. What do you think?
September 11th.
What are you thinking this year? Have you watched much? Have you watched much preseason?
I have watched a little bit of it, but I played NFL, so I know what's happening in the preseason.
Yeah.
The teams that look real bad will be real good.
Yes.
The teams that look real good will be awful.
I hope so, because I'm a Colts fan, and we look awful.
Why would you watch a preseason game anyway?
You A, for my fantasy team. B, because it's on TV, and it's like, what's on TV?
It's better than Judge Judy. It's better than Judge Judy.
But everything besides Judge Judy is okay with me.
When do we see you on Ballers?
Never.
Okay, good. There you go. Good choice. Trevor Price, I love you, man, and
appreciate it, Pat.
Good luck with this, and we'll stay in touch. Okay.
Thanks, Trevor.
Absolutely.
There he goes, the great Trevor Price, and man, what a cool guy.
Cool guy. I can't wait to. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna binge watch. He
figured it out.
Yeah.
Now, when he first told me this idea, I thought, I don't know, was he hit too many times? But
those are the guys that's successful. That's great.
Well, he was successful anyway. Good for him. We'll be back to talk more Colin Kaepernick. I don't think we're finished with Gene Wilder.
Let's talk some more Gene Wilder. I love Gene Wilder.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of imagination.
Even a little more creepy.
Back in a minute.